Hey everyone, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and today we're going to be watching another Dune Prophecy, and I've got with me Max, and Max, our local expert on Dune Prophecy, it seems, more than me. Um, yeah, I've been enjoying the show. I was thinking about this during the week. Obviously, George Lucas got a whole lot of stuff for Star Wars from Dune, which was a big influence on him. I'm going to assume that these idea of these witches might have even helped develop the stuff he did in the Clone Wars for the
It
what's it called,
developed
the
everything.
Dathomir
They're the
witches.
Jedi's, they're the Dathomir witches, they're the Night
Yeah,
Sisters. Dune is everything in Star Wars. That's
yeah.
not a bad thing,
No,
but
no.
there's some clear influence, and it's also the difference between a hero's journey and a story that's talking about philosophy and man
Of
and
course.
nature and
Yeah,
existence versus
yeah.
suffering. It's two different types of stories.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
I
right
don't
now
I
the
try
the
not to
whole
compare the
witches
two.
element is yeah. Sorry. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I try not to compare the two, even though Frank Herbert had his own opinions on Star Wars, and I'm sure George Lucas has opinions on Dune.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
I
yeah.
think the Bene Gesserit and in this point the Sisterhood, they took a lot of inspiration from what was known as the Witches of Rossack, and
Oh, okay.
that's where the voice comes from, and that's where the drug comes
Oh.
from that transforms them and brings out their other memories through living through the agony. But a lot of those ideas did carry out to other mediums. I mean,
Of
while a lot
course.
of
Yeah.
that stuff was developed later in the 2000s, what Frank Herbert established was kind of uh, just paramount to what became the future of sci-fi.
Right. Right. Yeah. Now you had a couple of theories during the week you were talking about to me, but please indulge.
So my main one right now, last week we had an Ixian who helped the resistance
Shapeshifter,
develop
right?
a. No, this is something
Oh.
different. This is the Ixian who
Oh.
helped develop the bomb
Oh.
to try and
Gotcha.
attack Javico.
Okay.
And then obviously Desmond Hart stops it. I think Desmond Hart could be working with the Ixians himself, or possibly of Ixian design. They've always skirted the
Okay.
lines between the Butlerian Jihad. They're the a giant machine, not race because they're humans, but they're machine specialists. They basically
Okay.
live underground and just
All right.
develop these crazy machines. And they were the main competition to the Wachezis. At the start of the show, the Wachezis was going to marry into the Imperium, into
Right.
the
Yeah.
Imperial throne. But the Wachezi boy died mysteriously. Then Desmond Hart showed up. And why would the Ixians want to kill them? Because the Wachezis
Right.
had their own foothold into technology in this universe. And, obviously they want to get closer to the Emperor than the Wachezis. So instead of marrying into them, they're going to be speaking into his ear. The same thing the Bene Gesserit, at this point, the Sisterhood, are trying to do. But on the
Gotcha.
other hand, we've also seen the Tleilaxu at this point. I think they're called the Tleilax. I don't know if they've infiltrated the Sisterhood as much as I previously thought, but they definitely
Right.
are working with the Sisterhood to some extent because we had a face dancer last week, or at least an early attempt
Right.
at a face dancer, um, and she seems to be a part of the Sisterhood herself. So
Yeah.
this could be the Ixians trying to play their hand before the Tleilaxa and the Sisterhood do to
Okay.
try and make their reach towards the Imperial throne.
All right. Well, cool. I mean, well, guess we'll see how that theory plays out. We've got what, 2 episodes left? Was it 6 in the season?
Yeah, this one next week.
Yeah. This week, yeah, that's it. And so basically, yeah, we'll see if your theories come into play. But this episode is now dropped, Max. So let's check this out on three, two, and one.
Oh, it makes so much sense for Desmond to be an Ixian, snuff out the rebellion, squash the Sisterhood's plans, and take their place alongside the throne.
Are they the course of events that are supposed to happen, or what are the course of
We
events?
don't know that what happens
Oh, we just
between
don't
the
know.
events.
Okay, because they never explain
It's
that in the
very
books.
loose. It's very loose between what happens between the school trilogy and then
Gotcha.
the house trilogy, which takes place
Okay.
like 30 years before the original books.
All right, makes sense.
So that's 10,000 years of like unexplored content.
Yeah. I'll let you know what's going on with his body. You know, obviously he's getting burned back from using his powers. So
That's what made me think Tleilaxu, it's Tleilaxa stuff.
yeah.
Um, Mainly because they are they specialize in stuff with
Okay.
the body and organic material. If
Yeah.
it is organic and not technological, it would be the Thylaxa behind it.
Right. Gotcha.
It's a little interesting that Kevin J. Anderson's a producer on this, but Brian Herbert isn't.
Okay.
I wonder why. Maybe Brian just didn't want to get involved.
Maybe.
Oh no, executive producer Brian Herbert.
Oh no, he's producer there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Spaceship.
Yeah, I like all these highliners.
Uh-huh. I do like the designs that they created, both in the films as well as the series.
Yeah, they made the world look really unique and interesting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all the planets look really interesting and unique.
Yeah. He obviously doesn't heal quickly from these wounds when using his
Yeah, it seems
powers.
to take a great... Was that a Chris knife, or was that just a regular knife?
Looked like
I don't think a regular knife. It was too curved to be a Chris knife, but
Yeah.
he did spend a lot of time on Arrakis.
He's got a mad face, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's up to no good.
Yeah.
Desmond Hart, as my
Look at him.
new
Good God,
Bashar.
smug bastard.
He's the new
Lead these
Bashar?
soldiers of the Imperium.
You already made him the new Bashar? That's crazy.
Moving up the ranks.
That's like basically the highest military rank.
Mm-hmm. Look at those ships. How cool
I thought
is
he was
that?
going to make him like a house sword master or something.
I'm here to see my son.
So I'm pretty sure she was his concubine before his wife, who he couldn't marry because of political reasons.
Right. Okay.
Your orders are to guard my sister, not prevent me
So which
from
one's
seeing
her son?
Constantine right here.
Oh, gotcha.
her. Come on, Nez.
I like question why she even wants to stay in this Sisterhood school. Like, she seems to hate it.
Yeah. Are they welcome to leave?
Yeah, they can leave on their own accord. Tula originally left.
Right. Yeah.
How is the other side of the universe? I wasn't expecting you.
I came as soon as I got
Love the production design of
My
this.
message.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
Lord Bashar?
I do like how the show just pronounces words like a little differently than I would.
Oh yeah.
Like I would say Bashar, they say Bashar.
Okay.
I don't know which is right.
In Zimia, it all goes through one underground market. Spice, which means...
I don't know, this is your story. What does it mean?
They must have gone through the underground...
That's great.
Mm-hmm. What is that he just gave him?
I couldn't tell. I mean, he's gonna open it.
Okay.
Oh,
What is that? I
looks
imagine it's
to be.
a gem or something?
No, I think it was some kind of machine.
Oh.
Shit. Is he gonna kill Kieran Atreides?
We're looking for insurgents.
No.
Oh my god. That's crazy. I wonder how much Desmond knows.
He did that with confidence that he knows a lot. Or at least
Yeah.
theorizes a lot, doesn't he?
Let Desmond Hart come. I'm preparing quite a worthy greeting.
Oh my god, she's gonna try to kill him. It's not gonna work. I can already tell. She's gonna blow herself up trying to kill him.
Humanity will backslide into self-destruction.
You saw all of that during the agony.
She's like the female closet Tadarach that makes them decide they need a male one.
Right.
She has like full-blown prescience in a way.
You clearly resorted to unorthodox methods to access my knowledge.
Makala.
And now I'm here.
That's
To
crazy.
work.
That's crazy.
Keller?
That's such. That is on.
I don't know how long.
It's so on
Kevin
brand
can-
with Kevin
sister?
J. Anderson's Dune stuff. It's just such a great fun twist, like way to bring a
I need
character
you
back.
to track the samples of Sister Cash's brainstem.
What was that?
Great performance by this kid too. I don't know her
The
name.
Yeah.
mother
But,
is still standing.
she's great.
I've hid my great work with
Oh
the
man.
What great work. Not the time for questions, Sister Jen.
Ooh,
Part of her great work was like the breeding index, and Dorothea would have shut that down.
This tissue damage. I've seen this before.
You have?
During the war.
During the
Sister?
war.
Get me
Wait,
in.
she was a part of like the Butlerian Jihad War. I
okay.
think she was actually part of the Battle of Corin, to be specific. The ducal ring.
Which is what exactly?
It's basically what signifies his ducalness to the Landsrod.
Okay.
But it's what defines him as a noble house. It's what the leader of
Gotcha.
a high house wears.
Right. Okay.
Making an impression so strong it alters the course of someone's life. It is an emotional and physical.
It's crazy that she's talking about imprinting when much later in the series, their main enemies, the Honored Matres, for a time, who were the main enemies for a time,
Okay.
conquest through sexual imprinting.
Okay.
I didn't come here to drive a wedge between you and your wife, Vico.
It's funny how everyone says his name differently. Some people are saying Haviko, she's saying Yaviko. I've always said Javico. That's always how I've heard it pronounced. But again, I don't know if there's a right way.
Right. Well, it's the same as tomato and tomato. You know, people.
That
can
one has
say-
a right one. I go tomato. It's the only way.
From Mother Superior Valia.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Tula, this is a virus. Modified airborne RNA retrovirus. Sister Avila?
That was great.
You may go now. Don't mention a word of this to anyone, understood?
Ooh.
Yeah, she's gonna try and blow him up, and it's not gonna work. Oh god, Kieran Atreides is there too? Why would he not leave?
A friend profiting of the rape of your
Interesting they
own
call her a
kind.
Fremen. At this point, I'm pretty sure they were still called Freemen.
Your oppressors.
God created Arrakis to train the faithful. I live here.
Damn, this production design is so cool.
Wait a minute. So she said God created Arrakis to test the faithful, right?
Right.
That's from a book that Princess Irulan wrote, contained from quotes of Muad'Dib. Does she have a baby with Kieran Atreides that is tied into Paul Atreides' lineage? Like, do her and Kieran end up together? That'd be wild. It could just be an old Fremen saying, but
Possibly.
it's a pretty notable quote.
Oh!
I wonder how they're going to play the explosion versus shield thing. It's always been questionable in the Dune lore. It's
I
supposed
guess
to
you're
be
about to-
no, but also sometimes yes.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Is Lila just being used for the Sisterhood's gain? We're in a time of crisis, Sister Jen. Sacrifices have to be made.
But she also sacrificed a lot on her own accord. I'm going to say that about Tula.
Yeah.
Like, part of her whole story is she went off, she killed Ori, and then she realized, oh man, I was in love with that guy. But I also think Tula was hinting at a possible child that she had given up.
I guess it held up.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they were going to allow the shield to just let him live. I don't think they would have killed him like that. It would have been too convenient. As soon as I saw their planning, I was like, This is the perfect thing to frame the insurgencies for
Yeah.
if he lives. Because her dress blew up, I assume.
Yeah, well,
Her
that's what was
Sisterhood dress.
that's what was burning at that last second there that he was looking at.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I missed that.
yeah, that's what he was looking at. Yeah, the burning dress.
Oh my God, is he gonna just straight up kill Francesca?
All my life. But I don't know anything about your family.
Interesting. She mentioned Salvador
So
Carino.
Sisterhood does everything with a purpose.
Oh shit. That was Kieran Atreides' plans from last week, right?
Oh yeah,
Glad you appreciate it.
Or much more than appreciated. Friend. I love
Is he
you.
gonna kill him?
yeah, it feels like it. Nope, arrest, get him. Yeah,
Ugh, it's
betrayed him.
even worse.
Eh.
His dad got into his head last week by just being a little bit too proud of him.
But he will be made an example of.
And he just found out about the Sisterhood's
Oscarino
involvement
will
too.
tolerate no treachery.
Is she gonna free him? That'd be wild.
To understand it, we must identify his bloodlines.
I wonder if he is related to Umberto Hart, or if it's just a
Processing
coincidental name. Yeah, she's got so many reasons to hate the Sisterhood.
Bloodline?
What?
Atreides.
Okay.
Bloodline?
What?
Harkonnen.
Wait. No.
Match.
Oh my God! Of course he is. That doesn't. I don't even know if the years make sense.
As who?
I think it's her son.
Oh. Oh.
Survive. She
That
was
is not what I expected. So, ironically, Vorin Atreides did technically offer to leave this kid everything. He was like, oh yeah,
Right.
I've set this kid up for life. And
Yeah.
then Tula was like, nah, dude. Screw you and your Atreides blood.
Uh-huh.
Let us rid the Imperium of these witches forever.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Interesting.
That's wild. Okay,
That
so
is
they're
good.
really bringing in stuff from the Great House trilogy. They
Okay.
briefly mentioned it in this show earlier, the stuff with Tula and Ori, but that was a major plot line in the last book, especially the idea of she murders Ori, goes off to do her own thing. Vorin Atreides is incensed by this because another dude, Willem Atreides, also survived. And they basically set off on a hunt to end the blood feud by killing Tula.
Right.
And
okay.
they draw Tula and Valia to this is spoilers for the book, everyone. I know, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But they go to Korn, and they basically, that's when Tula tells Vorian that she's pregnant with Ori's kid, which is why Vorian doesn't kill her. So this is just more evidence of just the blood feud kind of just progressing throughout history while continuing to be intertwined. Like, of course, for Tula, this all comes back to another, and Valia to an extent, this all comes back to another Atreides.
Okay.
And it's not just Kieran Atreides on one end, it's Tula's own son.
So, any predictions for where next week the finale goes then?
Oh man, I don't know. There's so much to wrap
or
up.
how it ends. I mean, do we feel like there's going to be left open for a season 2 directly in this time story, or do we feel like they're going to wrap up this time story?
I think they really could wrap a lot of stuff up. The thing with Dune is a lot of it has a lot of building, and then it ends not quickly, but it usually has a big momentous ending. And I can see a lot of plot lines really all tying in together next week.
Feels like it, yeah.
Finale.
Yeah.
Especially with the idea of Kieran Atreides being locked up and then kind of free, but also him forming his own thoughts about the Sisterhood and how they impacted the rebellion, and him feeling like, was he just used by them? Do they believe in his cause? Was he just a pawn? And then I think I don't know if he's going to turn on them, but I think he definitely has conflicted feelings about everything right now.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say I feel like this show is too short for what we're getting, but it
Yes,
feels like
it
it's.
is.
But at the same time, it feels like the shortness of a 6 episode arc feels like that they have paced it at a very brisk,
Yeah,
pace,
we're
which
getting a
is
lot very
good.
quickly.
Yeah, we're not getting
I
any
mean,
dragging from this show. It doesn't drag anywhere at all.
we
I'm
also see
enjoying
how
that.
well they've paced things, especially in this
Yeah,
episode. When you see it, like the first episode, they introduced Raquel, and they kind of
yeah,
give the brief overview of how she started the Sisterhood. And in this
yeah,
episode, when they bring back Raquel through,
yeah.
what's her name? Not Lila,
Yeah, the
Doe
girl.
Eyes, whatever they
Yeah,
kept calling her
yeah,
this episode.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but they really make everything come full circle, and that's kind of what happens a lot
yeah.
with Dune. Is stuff kind of
Right.
comes full circle to bite people in the ass, and or just
Yeah,
come to
yeah,
fruition. And I think next week's gonna be a lot
yeah.
of stuff coming to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, it's great. It's a fun show. Yeah, man. Any other last thoughts before we head out?
I was surprised we didn't get any more info on the Thylaxa face dancer. In the credit,
Okay.
in the post credit thing last week, when they were just the creators of the show were talking about, they mentioned that she was a
Right.
Thylaxa experiment. So
Okay.
maybe she's just kind of an outlier. They were just experimenting with the idea of putting these more esoteric concepts into the show to kind of farm the ideas later to see if they can pick back
Yeah, it
up
makes
on it.
sense. Yeah, it seems like it would add too much to this particular story arc to if
Yeah,
this
I really wanted
particular one to
Thylaxa and the
right.
Ixians to really
But
go
yeah,
go ham this season, but it
yeah,
seems like
yeah,
all my theories about that are really kind of getting squashed by the second.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, just to settle the fact that they're in this world and be a one-off means that they can do something bigger in a season two in a different story arc or something in the future
Yeah.
or a different time period or whatever it may be. However, they choose to go with the if they do get a season two, uh, hopefully they'll continue this series as a across the 10,000 years kind of arc or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's
What's
fun.
also interesting that I just thought of actually, last week we got a comment that
Yeah.
someone suggested the theory that the eyes we were seeing were the God Emperor Leto
Right.
the Second's eyes. I did not want to believe it at first. I kind of wanted to say no, it's probably like an Omnius or Erasmus or some
Right.
or sort of other thinking machine or possibly Ixian design could just do the brightness of the eyes. But having
Yeah.
this character Desmond Hart be an Atreides
Right.
is a real curveball. I mean, even before they said he was an Atreides he was Tula's son,
Yeah.
I was kind of going over it like, well, what if he's Umberto Hart's relative? Because Umberto Hart
Yeah.
obviously just has the last name as him, but even I
Yeah.
thought that was a little coincidental because they would have mentioned Umberto Hart by now if he would have been important.
So is that a source of how he's got power through his mother, I
No,
guess?
it doesn't. Not
Or
necessarily. Not
right.
necessarily. Most of
So we don't
all
know
the
that.
Atreides
We don't know that
besides
story
two are
yet because he
very
still
normal
had that.
people.
Yeah, because he still had that connection with the sandworm, and we don't
I've
know
heard
whether
some
that
bonker
was.
stuff happens next week. I
Yeah.
don't know
Okay.
what,
All
obviously,
right.
but the
And
actress
you
that
you
plays
at one
the
point tend to
younger
think.
Dahlia.
I was gonna say you at one point tend to think it was something to do with the technology that allows him to do this. Was that right? Or
Yes, I
yeah.
thought maybe he was an Ixian who was through a
Right.
technological masters, and I thought
Yeah.
maybe it's he's doing everything through some sort of technological design, which is why he was appearing kind of anti-Butlerian
Right.
last week, kind
Has
of
that changed now? Or
dispel that.
in your yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think he could be an Ixian right now. I mean,
Mm.
it seems like if anything, it could be its Thylaxa,
Right.
possibly.
Okay.
Just because everything seems very biological and everything. There
Yeah.
was a virus that seemed to come with him. There was previously a
Yeah.
virus that wiped out a majority of the Sisterhood in their younger
Right.
years.
Gotcha.
So that's why it's something that Raquel said she's seen before.
Right.
So I think it could be Thylaxa meddling, if anything, but it's weird they haven't brought them up yet. And they're really doing a good
Right.
job at bringing up concepts before they unveil them
Yeah.
to keep people in the loop because some of these ideas end up getting very esoteric if you don't know the source
Yeah.
material.
Right. Gotcha.
So all of my weird theories might be out the window just because they haven't really touched on a lot of that
Or they
stuff
might
yet.
show up next week in the season finale.
That's
So,
I mean they might. They have
yeah.
mentioned Ixians. We've seen its Thylaxa experiment.
Right.
I mean the elements technically are there in the show. It's not
Right.
like they're avoiding them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we'll end it right there. And yeah, basically, if you enjoyed this reaction, please like and subscribe. We've got one more episode left. Also, if you get the chance, we are doing reactions to the Star Wars Disney show Skeleton Crew. And next week, we'll be doing reactions to What If Season 3 and the season finale kind of thing. So if you get the chance, check all that out, and we shall catch you on the season finale of this show for Dune Prophecy next week. Catch you later, man.